How are you going to get rid of earmarks when, for many senators and congressmen, if they're successful in getting them in bills, it is one measure of how the public can appreciate what they're doing for the state and for the district? How are you going to get rid of them?
I think if we advance to actually articulate what the national interests are in transportation, addressing congestion, addressing freight mobility, which is a drag on the economy, it's very severe, and earmarks are not a very good way to do that. We've been doing it, and GAO just came out with a study. Those earmarks don't even get spent. They're not part of a plan. They're not strategic. They're not the right projects. So that is not the way to get national priorities addressed, national problems solved. And if we can get an agreement on what those outcomes, that's why it worked with the interstate. People got that it was an interstate, and it wasn't a fight about return and equity bonus to my state and how much I put in. This was the element that was in the national interest.
For national defense.
That was part of the argument. Connectivity was certainly a big part. Yeah. But basically, it's getting political trust with performance goals, what we're trying to do, and we start linking what we spend on, where the money goes, and we reward performance. Right now, it's just you get it based on some very old formula and no requirement for strategic investment.
And that's why there's such an important time imperative here, because the next big infrastructure spending in this country will be the reauthorization of ICE-T, which is likely to take place next year, probably next year. If we let that go the same way, with plenty of earmarks, with no conditions and requirements and goals for the money that's given to the states, we're missing a great opportunity. That's when, and one of the things I hope to do with the help of my fellow governors is impress upon the President, the Congress, and most of all the American people that we can't do ICE-T the way it's always been done, that it has to be broadened above and beyond just transportation, that it has to have goals, it has to have an agenda, it has to have a 5- or 10-year plan to it, and that we have to commit the right resources, but the right accountability, the right checks and balances to get it done.